Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Business and the Sillyville edition. And today we are going to be talking about a variety of different news tips. The first is I've covered like every one of these cases when they come out. So we did talk a little begrudgingly being what in the world was going on where the Sacklers were given an immunity deal for some pleading. Well, it turns out that a judge that oversees the court that made that very dubious ruling granting them pure immunity in exchange for a fine. Another judge came out and said, you don't have the constitutional authority to do that. And so the judge pulls their immunity deal out from underneath them. So, hey, maybe there might indeed be justice in the world. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. But just an update there on the Sackler case. Basically, it boiled down to the bankruptcy court. If they declared bankruptcy on one portion and paid a fine, they would get immunity. Well, it turns out that the bankruptcy court does not actually have the authority to grant immunity for criminal cases. And so, hey, good news. Maybe at least we'll see something. And another update, well, Tesla will be shutting off the center console gaming. We just talked about this, was it last week, 2 weeks ago, where, a while back you could play video games in your Tesla only if the car's not moving. And then a couple weeks ago, hey, you can play video games with the car moving. And everyone's like, yeah, Teslas are already driving into things. People are already trying to go to sleep. The last thing we need is people playing video games while the Teslas are barreling down the interstate at 80 miles an hour, seeking for the nearest emergency vehicle by which to kamikaze into. So the highway safety support looks into this, and it does turn out that as of today, the update just happened today. First time I'm seeing it. I didn't see it last night when I was working on my news. Tesla will issue a software update to prevent the games from being played on the infotainment displays. Carmaker moved quickly to issue a software update that will roll out to the affected vehicles by Christmas. So basically, I think the National Transportation Highway Safety, they come down and say, okay, guys, you know what? We're about to give you the ban hammer. So Tesla's like, hey, let's pull the video games off the center console. Good idea, Tesla. We don't need more distracted drivers. They already seem to think that they cannot pay attention when they engage your crap, which you should get off of the road entirely. But I'll take the compromise of stopping the video game play from the middle console while the thing's barreling down the interstate in kamikaze mode. So there we have it, guys. There we have it indeed. Well, Google is killing yet another product. And in this case, it is the Onhub routers. They took these over, they pushed these guys out, and they're basically saying, yeah, it's next year. I think it's next 21st, 22nd. So, December 19th, 2022. So they will simply stop working. So all you guys on these devices, sorry. The good news is you will receive an email for 40% off of a Nest Wi-Fi, which actually seems to be a more inferior product. But yeah, I just don't need a Nest Wi-Fi. Guys, if you're in the middle of this getting cut off, I would just encourage you, go get yourself a good router with OpenWRT or build yourself a PF sensor. Do something other than get a Google router, for the love, people. But I won't be able to access my Wi-Fi network from Grandma's house. You don't need to access your Wi-Fi network from Grandma's house, okay? You don't need an internet-connected modem. Well, internet-connected router. Yeah, you need an internet-connected modem. That's kind of important. It's the whole internet-connected home router. You don't need to access the router components when you're not in your home network, okay? But that's what I'm trying to say. I promise I've not been in the eggnog. Maybe like ginger coffee. So Google is killing more stuff. You will get a coupon code. I would recommend getting away from the Google ecosystem. How long before you buy your new Nest Wi-Fi and then they kill that one next? Just go get yourself a router that Google doesn't have control over. Well, Meta investors are really sick of the scandals, asking for more oversight. So what has prevented a lot of the oversight is that Zuckerberg controls so much of the interest of Facebook, like 58%. But a few of pretty much everyone in the shareholders group are now banding together. And if they get enough banded together, they will be able to override at 58%. Basically, they're really irritated because this year was a really bad year for Facebook. They actually got Yahoo's business worst company of the year. Okay, when Yahoo declares you the worst business of the year, you got problems, because Yahoo's like, I think the only reason Yahoo does the worst business of the year is so they can control it and not be the worst business of the year. But nevertheless, Facebook/Meta received that this year, and they had the reports where, yeah, they knew they were hurting little girls, but they didn't really care. We talked about the other day how Instagram is excellent for connecting your 13-year-old to the local dealer on the street. We covered just all of the weird experimentation, and then not to mention the more conspiracy theory type stuff like, hey, have a look at the latest video from TruthStream Media about the new Saturn. Sometimes they're a little out there, but very entertaining if nothing else. All tied into the metaverse. I mean, they're literally trying to implement Ready Player One in society, and I need to go finally watch that movie. It's starting to make its rounds in the real world. I need to watch it. It's gonna be like V for Vendetta or something, so applicable to life. But they're basically saying these are kind of problematic, and so the investors are kind of banding together to try and get some oversight board, and who knows, maybe they might get enough strength in there to override it. So if you're unaware of how investor stuff works, it's not that Zuckerberg contains 58% so he can absolutely overrule everything. There's actually another law in publicly traded companies where a minority shareholder does have legal rights, and they could actually sue if they got enough support. They can actually sue to dissolve Zuckerberg's remaining portion. That is possible, albeit hard. So we'll kind of see what happens here. They're basically mad mostly at Mark Zuckerberg, so we might see a Dorsey Twitter type event coming on here, or who knows, maybe the evil robotic hacker will just take over anyway because that's what he wants to do. And on to our feature story here. Now, Mint Mobile, of course, has been a sponsor. Well, not a sponsor, but I have an affiliate link for Mint Mobile. I've had that for quite a while, so we're using that one today, obviously. TLM.li/MM. So an ad board tells Mint Mobile it should stop abusing the word unlimited. Very interesting. The limit, in fact, does exist. So we're going to have a look at this. And I find it most interesting. Who is whining to the ad board about Mint Mobile? AT&T, actually. Because AT&T and probably Verizon are pissed off that they keep on losing customers to companies like Mint Mobile. Is Mint Mobile perfect? No, of course not. But is it going to be better and cheaper than that? I got news, guys. My Mint Mobile's going 2 years strong, and I don't have any intentions on leaving. I'm extremely happy with the company. I pay a very small amount, and my phone works perfectly fine. In fact, when I had to jump on a call with the supporters the other day, I had to stream it from my phone because here the internet in Silicon Valley is giving me 1 Mbps, not quite enough to do a video call, so I had to do it from my phone instead. Mint Mobile's working just fine, thank you. Verizon seems to not be. In addition, I will, in full disclosure, when I did get internet for the van for just a measly extra like $20 a month, I did throw on a second Verizon line over here. Mint Mobile cost me $160 per year. Verizon cost me about $160 per month. And by the way, my Verizon is an unlimited plan that indeed has a limit. So I wanted to look at the article, and then we're going to have a look at Verizon, AT&T, and Mint Mobile's websites, and we're going to have a look at what we see. All right. So National Advertising Review Board has denied Mint Mobile's appeal, defending its use of the word unlimited in its advertising since its unlimited prepaid plans include high-speed data cap of $35 per month. Not unusual, most unlimited plans have a cap on high-speed or premium data, but Mint actually slows customers down to an unreasonably slow 2G after 35 gigabytes. Which I will attest to is not true. That is what they can slow you down to. In fact, I have run out of data on Mint Mobile once. It was not unbearably slow. It was slower. I have run out of Verizon data once. It was just as slow. They're the same speed when you run out. But of course, this is unusually even an industry that has rendered the term unlimited virtually meaningless. The ad board sides with AT&T's argument. So AT&T is whining to the ad board. Why? Mint Mobile's taking all of our business because we're unscrupulous morons. And so, yeah. It sides with AT&T's argument that it's slower than a customer would reasonably expect. Carriers and MVNOs throttle heavy data users more or less since unlimited plans made a comeback. And to be sure, the vast majority of wireless customers use less than 35 gigabytes of data per month, so they'd never experience the speed decrease. However, reducing customers who do surpass it to slow 2G speeds is a step further than most carriers. It's just not true, because that's exactly what Verizon and AT&T, well, Verizon does. I can't speak to what AT&T does. But what do they care? What do they care? Just make a new ad and expose it, but they can't, so they're going after them in government regulation. This is simply a large corporation bullying a smaller company through a government regulatory agency. That's exactly what this is. So I want to go ahead and have a look at this. Here is Verizon's plan list, okay? Start Unlimited plan. Hopefully you can see that. The Start Unlimited plan, unlimited talk, text, and data with no overage charges, $35 per month. Nothing in here talks about any links at all. I had to go and do a separate internet search to find this page. The Verizon Plan Unlimited FAQs. Number 2, what is the plan? Blah, 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 blah. On the Verizon Unlimited plan, you get our fast 4G LTE speeds. Right here in Silicon Valley, I'm getting 1 down and like 5 up. To ensure quality experience for all, after 22 gigabytes of data, so you get 13 gigabytes of data less on Verizon's plan. After that, they may prioritize smartphone and hotspot usage behind other customers during network congestion. This means your connection could slow down. The plan is the Verizon Plan Unlimited, no longer availability added. You get these great SIM features with the unlimited sizes, and that's these ones here. So, in other words, on Verizon's marketing page where they're talking about selling you unlimited, they don't actually tell you about the data cap of 22 gigabytes before it slows you down. Okay, so I think that the Ad Regulatory Board should be talking to Verizon because they're not disclosing the limitations on their unlimited plan, which is 13 gigabytes of data less than Mint Mobile does. Here is AT&T. AT&T, they have their AT&T Unlimited Elite, their AT&T Unlimited Extra, their AT&T Unlimited Starter plans. Screw you. I don't want to talk to you. And what you get, unlimited talk, text, and data. AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. That's all they say. Nothing on this sales page anywhere tells you anything about any limitations. Unless it's in this one. I don't think I read that one. No. Again, I had to go and do a separate internet search to find this page. Data usage support, network demand, and data usage. If a lot of IoT devices are using mobile data at once and can put strain on our network, this is called network congestion. We have to slow your data speeds. On an unlimited plan, we may temporarily slow your speed at any time if our network is busy. We may also slow your speed if you use more than 50 gigabytes, that's the whole account, or 22 gigabytes on a single data period. So in other words, if you are using 22 gigabytes of data instead of 35, you are going to be slowed down on AT&T. They didn't disclose this anywhere on their sales page. So I think that the ad marketing board should go back to AT&T and say, hey, you need to announce this data cap of 22 gigabytes before we slow you down on your sales page. Here is the Mint Mobile sales page. Unlimited specifically tells you unlimited is 35 gigabytes of 5G, 4G LTE data. Now, neither one of them, to be clear, none of these 3 companies tells you anything about how slow it gets. In my personal experience, Mint Mobile's speed after you run out of data is not particularly slower than Verizon's plan when they run out of data. And since I've not used AT&T, I cannot speak to AT&T, but nevertheless, the point remains. Mint Mobile is upfront about their limitations. They're upfront about what it is directly on their sales page. Verizon and AT&T, I have to go onto the internet, do a separate internet search, looking explicitly for a completely separate, unlinked page about the 22 gigabyte cap that they put on their unlimited plan. This, guys, is why I stick with Mint Mobile, and if you like to get Mint Mobile yourself, use my affiliate code TLM.li/MM, and that will help. It will help me out. And you can get your phones, you can get your plans. I personally use the 4 gigabyte plan because that's enough for me. I don't do a lot on my phone other than that. The unlimited again is 35. It says it right there, and that's that. So is this just a big pitch for Mint Mobile? No, I legitimately wanted to look into that case and see what in the world is going on. And it just turns out that it's a big corporate AT&T utilizing the government regulatory boards to bully a small company that's taking away their business. And I would recommend jumping from AT&T over to Mint Mobile because they're a lot cheaper and a lot better. And then that's my personal experience in that. Well, guys, let's head on over to Sillyville. And first up in Sillyville, Steve Ballmer's parting gift to Microsoft was he really wanted to name Cortana as Bingo. Oh, Cortana is such a better name. But there we have it. Ballmer's Bingo. Bingo. So there we have it, guys. With that, I don't really have much else to say. This is an interview with whatever this new CEO's name is. Is it Perucci? Whatever. That's not right. Nadella, there it is. Nadella is talking about this, saying, yeah, when Steve Ballmer passed the reins over me, his parting gift, he wanted to name Cortana as Bingo. He says, very exciting. Well, Radioshack wants to come back. They're relying on brand name recognition to create a cryptocurrency company. What? We're just, what name can we use for our new crypto startup? Radioshack. That name has been taken. Yeah, but they closed down. They're in bankruptcy. Let's just use it. Radioshack. Everyone will have warm fuzzies about Radioshack. Old Grandpa will now invest in Bitcoin because of Radioshack. Yeah, I think this is probably a bad plan, but we'll see what happens down the road. Amazon manages to ban its own Amazon account. What? Yeah. So Amazon bans a Prime Video account from Twitch. Honestly, hey, I can say that for a brief moment in time, Amazon actually was operating with integrity because they had this Prime Video account, and the lady seems to intentionally have exposed herself. She played a Janet Jackson Super Bowl move, and hey guys, look at this, and yeah, exposed some parts which is explicitly forbidden by Twitch terms of conditions, and so Twitch banned the Amazon account. Of course, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Now, they have since reinstated the account, and I don't think they should have done that. They should have said, you know what? You indeed violated it. Maybe a caveat. If this is a multi-personality channel, fire the person who did that as a condition to coming back online. Otherwise, hey, follow integrity, because if any other person intentionally did that, you would have banned them and not let them back on at all. Don't be like, oh, well, it was our account, so we'll go ahead and let you back on. No. Only if the person who did it, because wasn't an intentional, this isn't an accident. This isn't like, oh, crap, I forgot I was only wearing underwear and I stood up before the camera clicked off after the end. Okay, we could understand something like that in accidental. This is an intentional. She specifically says, let's get banned in Spanish. Vamos quitos de. Is that how you pronounce that? My apologies, guys. It was explicitly to do this. Ban the channel permanently, Amazon. Do the right thing. Unless you're going to fire this individual. So fire the individual or ban the channel because you're otherwise now engaging in nepotism. So there you have it. And then to our final story, there is a delicious lickable screen to see the future. This isn't the Koofy challenge all over again, is it? No, to be fair, you're not passing things. Pass this around, guys. Very good. No, we're not doing that. And I have no earthly idea what is up with this discombobulated tongue in this picture either. This terrifies me. Nothing about this is right. This is insane. Do my TV now, please. Verge? Are you engaged in softcore now? Oh, Lord. So if you've ever thought this 4K HDL OLED TV does great, I'm sure I wish it tasted better when I licked it. It may be getting closer to the world where that's the case. Professor's created a device he calls Taste the TV. According to Routers, it does exactly what the name implies. He hopes his TTTV will let people experience things like faraway world-class restaurants without leaving their own home, which has become an increasingly understandable desire in the last 2 years of utter insanity. Move to a free state, guys. It's no worse out there. According to a demonstration video you can now see below, the researchers blended up various foods and used sensors to taste them. Now, I scrubbed through this video to see if I could find anybody actually licking it, and no. Everybody is over here utilizing this discombobulated tongue. I gotta scroll ahead, and my apologies that my internet sucks so bad. All right, so let's go right here. Okay. What is this tongue thing? What is this discombobulated tongue? How is this taste? I want to see somebody actually. All right, guys, I'm gonna lick it now. As weird as that sounds, if you're going to call this Taste the TV, don't have false advertising. I want to see you actually licking this thing. I don't want to see you hand-holding this discombobulated tongue. What is this discombobulated tongue? Here it comes. Another tongue. What's a discombobulated tongue? What is this thing? What are they doing? There's so many questions about this. What is going on? Do you actually lick the thing? Does the discombobulated tongue, do you eat that? Does it just tell you what it is? Is it a weird brain sensor that goes in your brain to tell you what it is? And do we need to go around licking our TVs? These are all questions that cause me to wonder what in the world is going on. No, I don't want to do your TV now, Verge. If you'd like to help support the channel, we are over on Subscribestar. Whoa, of course I typed in the wrong name there. It is subscribestar.com/switch2linux, not Linux. Switch to Linux. We can jump on over here, help support the channel with that. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you guys next time. And hopefully I can go live soon as I get out of the internet dead zone of Silicon Valley. Yes, all you foreigners can laugh at us now that Silicon Valley seems to have really bad internet. And by the way, in the house, it's no better either. In fact, I get better internet out here. So, I don't know, guys. Well, let me know your thoughts on all these, and we will see you guys soon. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't see you by then, but I should by then. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching this video from SwitchedToLinux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.